Have you had an Australian partner visa or an Australian tourist visa refused? What should you do? Refusals happen. They happen regularly. Australian migration law is based on Commonwealth legislation. Each visa class and visa subclass is written into the Migration Regulations 1994. The criteria they use to decide whether to grant or refuse is written into those regulations, and this is what they use to decide whether to grant a visa application or not. If the application shows that the applicant and the sponsor in the case of a partner visa meet those regulations, then the visa is granted. If it does not, then by law they must refuse it. So you have a refusal and you think it's not fair. Firstly, ask yourself if it's really not fair. Did you meet Mari Bell in a bar somewhere last week and tried to get a visa for her based on your short relationship? Did you try to make it out that she was richer and more stable than she really was? Did you lie? Did you supply false documents? Or do something to pull the wool over their eyes? If this is the case, then it won't be easy, and in fact the decision was probably totally fair. If you think that it was truly unfair, then more than likely you had not presented your case very well. You should definitely contact Down Under Visa and let's see what we can do for you. We salvage a lot of shattered dreams after refusals, when your case is in fact a genuine one, that is. Be honest with us, regardless of whether you did something embarrassing before. I'm sure we've heard just about everything by now. So what are your options? Approaching the embassy and arguing your case. This is in fact not an option. Sending a dozen emails to the Australian embassy or calling the case officer and saying, "Surely you could see," won't help. By law, once they've made a decision, they cannot overturn it. It's not within their power. And giving them a piece of your mind won't help much on any future applications. Applying to the Migration Review Tribunal, otherwise known as the MRT, and appealing your case. This option is available to the Australian sponsor when it's a partner visa, or when an Australian has invited an overseas applicant to visit on a tourist visa. This is an option when you believe an error of law was made. If you feel that the case officer has unfairly judged an application, where in fact the applicant had met the regulations, the tribunal has the power to overturn the decision and instruct the embassy to reverse it. Thinking about it, you should be able to see two things. Firstly, the chances are that you can't work this one out by yourself and need help from a professional who understands migration law. Secondly, or maybe you can't necessarily see this, despite how annoyed you may be, the embassy staff don't normally make errors of law. In most cases, you simply didn't prepare and present your case very well, or they had limited information to make their decision on. Be aware that it takes ages to have a case heard at the MRT. We have one being held in March 2014. They've been waiting 1.5 years for that. The last option is making another visa application. In most cases, yes, this is the best option. We do this all the time. Most of the time, the reason it was refused was because you presented your case badly, and they had no choice but to refuse. Many a time I've read over a refusal decision and realized that if I were the one making the decision, I probably would have also said no. And in most cases, when I ask questions about the relationship, I find that it is totally genuine. But due to a mixture of omissions and wrong inclusions, no one apart from a mind reader could have realized that. In many situations, all is definitely not lost. We have had great success in salvaging and representing cases. Please let us have a look. So please contact us, fill out the partner visa assessment form or the tourist visa assessment form on our website and let us have a look. It costs you nothing to have your case assessed, and we will only take you on if we feel your case is sound. If not, we will tell you in no uncertain terms. We have enough legitimate business without having to take on hopeless cases. Thank you.